FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
I just got an email yesterday from a important person in the Clinton administration who wishes Obama well, and he said the big question now is whether they put too much freight on the truck, and I thought that was a good way to frame it. But what he also wants to, to use another cliche, he wants to strike while the iron's hot, and he has tremendous popularity, and he wants to have a Rooseveltian 100 days. He's ambitious to, and he realizes that, most of the scoring in the presidency takes place in the first quarter, in that first year. So not necessarily in the first 100 days, which is an artificial construct that they don't particularly like, that started with Roosevelt, actually started with Napoleon, but first became a kind of a prison for early presidents that Kennedy hated and all the rest of them basically hated, because the press is going to judge them on that first 100 days. But they recognize that the first year is really critical, and that you can't wait to introduce your health care plan till year 2 or year 3. You have to get it out there and then hope that you've got enough momentum that you can multitask and get a lot accomplished at once. But it's a risk.
If you look at, I've done a checklist on presidents who start well. Starting well is no guarantee of success. I mean, Nixon, Woodrow Wilson, but it's very hard to find a president who starts poorly and does well. I mean, you can make the case that nobody knows what happened with JFK, and I don't personally really think he started that poorly, but he did. He had the Bay of Pigs, he had all those things. But Obama is, in my view, got way too much. I think there's way too much freight on the truck. But some of that is maybe stuff that, to stay with the metaphor, you can push off the truck pretty easily. Look at the health care. The so-called Hillary care, Clinton's health bill, was a 1,400-page document. I mean, it was so detailed and complicated. It didn't get a hearing. It never even got a committee hearing. There's nothing in this. Obama's just put a number out, and he said, "You guys go write a health care bill." So it isn't quite. Although there's a lot of stuff out there, some of it is really out there as a slogan or as a goal, and some of it is out there like the stimulus bill as a real
this
practice.
is a key thing that FDR did that I think Obama is really clever about. With the Agricultural Adjustment Act, which set up the first price supports and was one of the 15 major pieces of legislation Roosevelt got through in his first 100 days, he basically said to the farmers and the grain elevator operators and the consumer groups, he said, just you go figure out what you want, I'll sign it. And I think that's essentially what Obama's saying about health care. There's a lot of different proposals. He's pragmatic. His feet aren't set in concrete on any of it. Whatever Ted Kennedy and Max Baucus and Grassley come up with in the Senate, he'll sign.
Here's where I think Obama is also exceptionally shrewd. Shotgun, you throw a lot out there. He enjoys enormous support at this point. Great sympathy in the country. Let's say he gets 2 big things through. People are not going to remember that the other things failed, so to speak, in the beginning. They'll be on the agenda. They'll still be sort of percolating. And if he can get a couple of big things done, I think it's going to give him a huge boost and create a kind of momentum to maybe do things later. So I don't know that it's such a bad idea that he's put all this stuff out there and he can get 1 or 2 things, big things done, and then, he can push for others after.